Close your eyes. I really mean it. Close your eyes and sink into your chair for just a moment. Now imagine you're 16 again. Imagine sitting in your social studies class in high school. Imagine hearing classmates talk about the upcoming prom in the cafeteria. Imagine getting dropped off for the movies by your parents because you can't drive. Then imagine taking driving lessons and sitting next to your instructor and trying to figure out how to make a proper left turn when all you can really think about is how you really don't want to drive over the double yellow into oncoming traffic. Open your eyes. This is a picture of me at 16. Now, up to this point in my life, my whole life had revolved around mental health without me having the words for it. I remember having my first panic attack in kindergarten. And the panic attacks happened on a daily basis for the next 10 years. I thought I was crazy. I was too young to have the agency to understand what mental health was, or what a panic attack was, or maybe even how to try to stop it. So for the next 10 years, I'm dealing with this on a daily basis. And the self-hatred I feel, because I know I'm not normal, evolves into depression and self-harm and overarching anxiety. And then, all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm in the psych ward of a hospital in a room with no sharp objects. At 16 years old, I was hospitalized for suicidal ideation. I didn't and couldn't be myself anymore because I didn't know who that was. I kept having my parents tell me, "You're not alone." And you hear that a lot with mental health. Everyone else tells you you're not alone. All I remember thinking is, where are all the people? Fast forward 5 years. And quite literally fast forward 5 years, because now I'm 20 years old and my dosage of medication is so high that I physically can't recall those 5 years. And I'm trying to be an adult. I'm trying to go to college and keep my grades up and juggle the balance of life. And I can't. It's just too much. Enter divine intervention. So I'm 20 years old and I'm living in Virginia in an apartment by myself. And one day, I come home from the grocery store after having picked up my medication, and I put all the groceries away, and I put everything away, and I can't find my medication. I physically lost it. It's nowhere. I'm in Virginia. There is no way for me to get another script. I'm terrified. I'm full on freaking out at this point, because this is the same girl who in high school would make her father turn around and drive back home if she forgot to take her medication that morning, just because she didn't know who she was going to be by the afternoon. The next 3 days of cold turkey withdrawal were exactly how you would imagine it. It was like a movie scene. I ripped that apartment apart, and I never found my medication. And it was so crazy to me because at this point, I was being told by my psychiatrist that if I ever stopped the medication, there's a really good chance I would just kill myself. And in my heart of hearts, I didn't want to do that. So 3 days of complete mania, and on the 4th day, it was so amazing, I'll never forget it. I woke up, and everything was just so quiet. For the first time in 5 years, just felt like, here's a third of my life gone. I felt like I had been lied to. I was so confused. And here I am, a 15-year-old in a 20-year-old body, in a story that I didn't even want to be a part of, that I had no part in writing at all. Enter poetry. I went to James Madison University in Virginia, and it was in college that I started performing my poetry. I joined the poetry club on campus, Word is Born, and I'll never forget being on stage at an open mic on campus. And when I used to perform, I used to get on stage, I used to have to wear a long black skirt because my knees were knocked together like crazy. And so I'm up there, and I remember reading one of the poems that I had written, and just the feeling of being on stage and finally having a chance to say exactly what you mean, having the words, starting to understand myself, processing my trauma in a way that connects with my audience, in a way that they can resonate with, in a way that I can reach them. I was completely addicted. Being on stage, I discovered the reason why the mouth is located where it is. It's not between the head and the heart for no reason. This is my visceral explosion. This is how I connect and make sense of who I am and the world around me. So, keep going, right? I start performing everywhere I can. I'm at bars, open mics, music festivals, conferences. I'm in New Zealand. I get on the radio. I'm trying to push and share my poetry as much as I can to reach the people who I didn't have a chance to speak to or know of, or wasn't lucky enough when I was their age, or when I was in the situation they were, trying to understand mental health and what that looks like in my life. And I started speaking at universities and talking about poetry and what it does for me in my life and how it has truly become my opportunity to reach and connect with other people. And I'll go ahead and blame my Jersey bones, but it wasn't enough. Just speaking in front of people wasn't enough for me. I needed more. And so in 2018, last May, I officially launched this nonprofit called Out of Your Mind. Now, Out of Your Mind is a creative approach to mental health, and it combats social isolation through creative peer support and reframes mental illness as a mental opportunity. Now, what that means is that the organization puts on about 3 to 4 events per month locally in an area, especially rural Appalachia, in an area where some psychiatrists or therapists might not be as accessible or financially accessible for people in this area. So we put on events, and it's not group therapy. What it is we get together and we do cool things. We have a chance to get out of our minds, right? So we go on a group hike every month. We also have an open mic that we host in town. We get local artists to come and teach workshops. This is the middle of a drawing workshop we had 2 weeks ago. And we're connecting artists with community members and other people who feel like emotional intelligence is something that they should have. And it's something everybody should have. And so through all these events and everything that we've done, it needs to be bigger still yet. So through my performance poetry, I decided to direct and shoot my very first poetry video. And this is a still from the poem Nobody But Myself. And with this, I was so excited because here's an opportunity for people to be able to connect with people I can't even see. And so from that, we've gotten into film festivals across North Carolina. We're going to a film festival in Ireland in May. We're on an international basis. I'm actually bringing the film back to my hometown in New Jersey this summer, which is going to be incredible. And today, after 20 months of Out of Your Mind functioning, we've had 40 events and over 500 participants. It's incredible. I can't tell you what it means to have people come and connect with other people without even saying what they're dealing with, without even alluding to the fact that they're going through a rough time. It's part of the human experience. And nobody wants to tell you that. But here, with Out of Your Mind, you are not alone come to life. This is a way for you to validate yourself and understand that you are not crazy. There are people like you out there. And everyone's just trying to figure it out. But the most important thing to remember, and what poetry has taught me, is that you hold the pen. You are the author of your own story. And if it's not the story you want to be in, you can rewrite it to make it one that you are excited about. Life is incredible. And to have Out of Your Mind happen and have all these participants, I have to tell you about a promise I made to myself. It's probably the only promise I've ever followed through with. And I hate to say that, but it's so true. I remember getting picked up from the hospital, 16 years old. I remember getting in the back of my parents' minivan. And we're driving through North Jersey on a rainy day. And I just remember looking out the window and laughing to myself, thinking, what am I supposed to do now? I'm going to go back to school? And in that moment, I promised myself that if I ever figured it out, if I ever found a way to be truly happy, I would have to find all of you and tell you. This is the dream come to life. This is the magic life. And it's possible to turn it around. On the 27th of this month marks the 10-year anniversary that I did not take. And I can stand here today as a 26-year-old in a 26-year-old body and tell you that I love my life. I am so grateful that I did not make that decision. And I feel it is my purpose for being here, for still being here, and my purpose for my entire life is to help people just like you figure that out, have that click, and help them get to where they're going. I like to think of myself as just being a vehicle to get people where they're already going anyway, maybe with less speed bumps. But that's the point. That's the plan. And what can we do for each other but support each other? I mean, yeah, sure. Medication and therapy, they help. I know they do. I've been through the system. But at the end of the day, if you come home and you're socially isolated, if you truly, in your heart of hearts, feel alone, you need a community. You need people that can understand, or maybe even try to understand what you're going through. It's so important because mental health is not the end-all to be all. It's not true what they say. I thought because I had depression, I would just one day end up killing myself. And that was my story. But again, Jersey. So I said, no, I don't want that story. That can't be all I amount to. I won't let it. And it is my absolute pleasure to share with you now a poem that embodies everything I believe in, and a poem that I repeat to myself on a regular daily basis. This piece is called Nobody But Myself. I think my depression is sexy. When I see her dancing to jazz tunes under blue light in a wooden bar, her dark curls sway with her hip clicks and honey-colored drink, I think my depression is a movie star. But maybe no one let her read the script. She's quick to improvisation, played out with such motivation you'd never guess. She's pretending. I think my depression makes magic. I've never seen someone make sadness disappear the way she does. The drinking persistence or her magician's assistant erase the bad days in an instant. She saws her anxieties in half, and unable to cadaver them back, she breathes a nervous laugh. I think my depression feels nothing. At least she tells me so while she stumbles home sloppy, swaying. She's laying on my side of the bed when she drunkenly mumbles she wishes she was dead, but maybe it's all in my head, so I don't worry. I won't wake her. Tomorrow, I'll keep trying to save her. I think my depression is low. She never leaves my side. But she won't eat the food I make her. And I can't predict when she's going to cry. I tell her she has to try. So on the bad days, we snip the size and tags from her jeans and take the self-harming scissors shut. On the bad days, we dance shoeless and tell each other we are enough. And on the good days, because we still have good days, she wonders why she ever tried to give up. But one good day is never enough. I think my depression is suicide. I tell her, if she won't love her, I will. Because even the shit pieces increase her uniqueness. I tell her she won't believe this, but she's the only good thing I've got. She's the only one who reminds me to feel something. I want to feel something. I want to feel as real as my depression feels to me. So please, I beg her, don't leave. It's getting worse. She screams, but I'm quick to burst. I love you. I loved you first. I think I am my depression. And I think my depression is sexy. I think I am complex. I am loud. I am beautiful. I am strong. I think if I wasn't this good at being sad, I wouldn't have made it this long. I think my depression is my superpower. I think my depression allows me to feel. I think my depression must be a poet. Because a lot of people believe or think or know. And when you believe or think or know, you are a lot of other people. But my depression, she feels. I feel. And the moment I feel, and nobody